moved here, I didn't know a single person. So it gave me the opportunity to just kind of branch out in the community and find community that way. And so I've made lots of friends and people that I consider family. Going for runs and walks and bike rides at Davis Creek is one of my favorite things to do.
We chose Kankakee. For one, I was born and raised here, but I've also lived in Chicago for quite a few years, and I also lived in Europe for some time. And Stefan was raised in Europe. We were drawn back to Kankakee because we felt that we had an opportunity to live out this dream that we've both shared since we met. Something about Kankakee, the energy within the people, there's just this like vibrant energy of growth and potential, along with all the deep history that Kankakee has. It's very inspiring.
I don't think I could ever express how grateful I am for this community and what it's able to do for my life. Yes, living here has changed my life. I love the state park. There's a tree right in the second entrance. The symbolism of that tree, the fact that it's rooted in the ground, full of rocks, and yet so free at the same time, I love that tree. There's just amazing people, amazing businesses, and we all can support each other to become even better than what we are. So I am just so grateful to be a part of this Kankakee County at this time. I am truly grateful to be here.
I remember when we were trying to decide where to land once we were finished with school. We weren't sure where we wanted to be, but we knew that we wanted to be closer to family and closer to what we had always known as home. And we just felt a gut tug toward Kankakee County and toward Bourbonnais. And that's where we landed. And we trusted that. And we're so thankful that we ended up here. Home to me is the place where you're at with those that you love. Kankakee County is home for me, and that's where my heart is.
You've just seen some of our colleagues who are doing awesome things in Kankakee County. I'm Stacy Wilkin, Executive Director of the Kankakee County Convention and Visitors Bureau, here with my pal Dave.
And I'm Dave Barron, local attorney and Kankakee County enthusiast, which is why I am so enthusiastic about the day we've got planned ahead of us. We're going to be talking about a number of different things.
Entrepreneurship.
Resiliency.
Livability.
Growth.
And we're so excited about all of these. We're at the northern end of Kankakee County in historic Manteno.
Hey, Stacey, you've put together quite an exciting community up here. I'm a Kankakeean, so I think we're about to take a road trip through some of our other towns, Bourbonnais, Bradley, and then head into Kankakee.
Yep. We've got a great trip. Hang on tight.
Kankakee County is adaptable, changing out long-standing Sears warehouse with a Lowe's warehouse in just weeks of closure. Our facilities are set up for quick startup with lots of land for new builds.
Our new interchange has great land right off of I-57, ready for development with several property tax and other incentives. This new exit allows for easy transportation to Chicago and is a strategic hub in the center of the Midwest.
The construction of a 43,000 square foot medical campus will take place over the next year as Oak Orthopedics develops their new surgical facility right at the Bourbonnais Parkway development.
Our adaptable county is now reusing a fantastic and large facility in Bourbonnais right in the new Business Improvement District. The building used to house a large call center which moved to remote work, but is now breaking up the space for smaller organizations. Gardent was able to move in quickly to grow their presence in the community.
The Riverside Orthopedic and Spine Center is slated to open in summer 2021. The 75,000 square foot, 3-story facility will be home to all of Riverside's neuromusculoskeletal specialties, including orthopedics, neurosurgery, pain management, and rehabilitation and podiatry. With a team of highly skilled physicians and support staff, the new facility supports growth in the community by expanding and enhancing access to care for the patients Riverside serves.
The Best Western Plus Bourbonnais Hotel and Suites is a remodel that recently opened their doors and are already partnering with our community.
Posh Hospitality chose Kankakee County and Bourbonnais in particular after doing research on different towns, different areas, what was happening, what was coming on. After talking to several of the officials from Bourbonnais, Bradley, Kankakee in the area, we realized how much was going to be coming to this area, so we decided this would be a great place to open up a property with some meeting space for trainings and things of that nature. We wanted to partner up with local businesses. Again, speaking with the officials, we learned that this area is very big on companies working together, businesses working together, helping with families, locals, and things of that nature. So for our restaurant, Bourbon Creek Kitchen, we wanted to partner with Steam Hollow Brewery, Brickstone Brewery, and then recently we have connected with Connect Roasters to do all of the coffee for our guests. We have their coffee in the lobby, and then we also put their K-cups in the sleeping rooms.
Connect Roasters is a coffee company on a mission, and we're on a mission to not only deliver quality coffee, delicious coffee to our customers, but we're also in a mission to give back to communities and countries that we source coffee from, like Guatemala and Nicaragua, and also give back to communities close to home. And so the way we do that is we take a portion of our sales and we set those aside and we use them to fund community development efforts and more recently COVID relief efforts. We chose to build Connect Roasters in Kankakee County for a number of reasons, one of which is that it's home for me. I was born here, I was raised here, I now live here, our employees live here as well. One of the benefits of being here is that we get to work with a lot of great local organizations, businesses, and just great people. Some of the organizations that we partner with locally include Olivet Nazarene University, Riverside Healthcare, and most recently, Best Western Plus here in Bourbonnais.
We are here at the beautiful riverfront campus of Kankakee Community College. Dave, what do you think of the view?
Hey, cleanest river in Illinois right there.
And a national clean stream. Like, what can you say, right? We are here today with Nicole Smokovich, Executive Director of the Community Foundation of the Kankakee River Valley. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're so pumped.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your mission.
So the mission of the Community Foundation is connecting people who care with causes that matter in our community. And what that means is we work with our donors to support the charitable organizations that they care about. Also, we want to make note that we focus on early childhood education, workforce development, and land use and protection in our area, which is Kankakee and Iroquois counties.
Awesome. So a lot of great things that you are just really making sure keep the wheels in motion, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Do you have any good stories for some projects?
There's so many, I don't even know where to begin. We've put up playground equipment in some of our park districts. We have helped child daycare settings with some equipment that they need in order to work with our children and get them ready for kindergarten. We support a program that we partner with United Way on called Success by Six, and that's to make sure that all of our children are prepared for kindergarten before they get there.
A lot of community partnerships, I'm hearing.
Correct.
Which is great. And then most recently, too, you had the opportunity to help in response to some of the, just current world environment that we're in, right?
Right, yeah. So, funny story, if you can believe that, through COVID. The United Way started an emergency response fund, and the Community Foundation started an emergency response fund at the same time. And when we found out about each other's funds, we said, hey, wait a minute, we need a partner on this so we can make a bigger impact in our community. And that's exactly what we did.
So what was the result of that collaboration?
Right, so we've raised close to $200,000 locally. And then on top of that, we received 2 grants from the Illinois COVID Response Fund, where funds were raised all over the state. And we received a total of $450,000 through that grantee process.
And based on your mission, it is to then connect those dollars with deserving organizations.
Correct.
Tell me about some of those efforts. Who are some of the people that you're giving money to?
Right, so we have given $567,000 out in grants through this emergency response fund. Right,
That's
yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah, and we did it in a short amount of time. We were tasked with giving out at least $450,000 within 7 days of receiving each of those grants. So some of those organizations that we partnered with, it was 29 organizations altogether, and just amazing things that they're doing.
And all local organizations here within Kankakee and Iroquois counties?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, Kankakee and Iroquois counties. So, 83,000 meals were served during this time. Households affected with health and mental service needs. That was 200,000 households with that.
Wow.
Yeah, so over 1,000 nights of shelter for our homeless. It was really incredible.
Another need that exists in any community is the issue of mental health.
Yes.
I understand that you were involved in initiatives to address that issue here.
Right, so we received another grant from the Illinois Children's Healthcare Foundation to create a system of care for children's mental health needs. And so we're focusing on birth to age 21.
That's excellent.
You're doing a lot of good work here.
Thank you.
Childhood development, workforce development, land use, and pedestrian bridges.
Sure, we do those too.
We can't get by without mentioning the pedestrian bridge.
Absolutely.
That's right.
We're avid bikers, you know, so we really love that pedestrian bridge over the river. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so there was a plan put together, 4 phases for the Riverfront Trail. And that pedestrian bridge, which is over by Riverside, that is phase 2 of our project. Thank you. And so actually phases 1, 2, and 3 are all complete. Now we're just on to phase 4.
Awesome.
Which is so exciting, and we can't wait to see that.
So the start of the trail system, where is that at for those who might not know?
Sure. It's actually right here at KCC at the boat launch with the Kankakee Park District.
So literally right pretty close to where we're at. We're on the riverfront here at
Right.
Kankakee Community College, and so now it extends from the community college up to Riverside Hospital and beyond?
Beyond,
Okay.
through Perry Farm,
Okay.
through our Bourbonnais Park District, and the plan is to get it connected to the state park and their trails. So there's going to be over 20 miles of trail created through this.
Awesome. Well, we certainly appreciate your community efforts and all the things that you do to work throughout the community with partners and all the good that you bring us. So
Great. Well, thank
you so much.
So next up, we have a group of diverse and exciting entrepreneurs that have decided to build their businesses right here in Kankakee County.
Being a business owner in this community is so amazing because it's so diverse. Love having my business here because this community offers so much support and an abundance of resources.
We have nice festivals and just a nice kind of small community aspect without being a really, really small town. So it's just a good place to be.
It's a small enough network that you're able to really build relationships with people here locally, but large enough to offer the opportunities that you need to be able to grow your business.
Not only supportive, but extremely resilient. We're so proud to be not only a part of the business community, but really just Kankakee County as a whole.
There's so many people that support our local businesses here, so it's great. We love it here.
It's the type of community I want to be in, the one that is willing not to ignore the problems, but who wants to face it head on.
We need to be able to stay in our area, and people are looking for the new trendy things. I just love the spirit of everybody. I think we've got something special here.
We all, have that sense of love and respect towards one another. And I love, just the sense of family that this community offers.
The reason why we have continued to maintain our business in town here, as well as our family livelihoods, is we have the proximity to a large urban area if we would like it. But we have the great small community feel of our own.
We're close enough to one of the largest cities in the United States that we can enjoy what the city has to offer. But we're also far enough from Chicago in that, we can still have our own identity, our own personality, our own ways of sharing and caring and supporting and interacting, so we can still have our own independence from that as well.
I originally born in Moldova. I immigrated here in 2011, starting from Utah and going all the way to Illinois, but I never felt like home anywhere but here. It just felt like this is where I belong, this is my home, and I really love it.
One of the entrepreneurs that you just saw in the clip has decided to grow her business in Pembroke Township, which is a portion of our community that has a remarkable history and is seeing some exciting growth. Here to talk about some of that exciting growth today is Dr. Mark Bowman from the Field Museum in Chicago, Jahari Kolkweli, who is the president of the Pembroke Hopkins Park Community Development Corporation, and Kate Reed, who is a member of the Community Development Corporation, as well as you also work with United Way of Kankakee and Iroquois counties. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
So I wanted to start, I've heard a lot about the Pembroke Sustainability Plan. I know that the Field Museum is a partner in that effort to bring together, a real community-driven effort to bring that together. What's in that plan?
Well, it absolutely is a community-driven plan, and the community voice is written all through it. We kind of gathered the pieces together, and on the principle that sustainability is not only about the environment, and boy, does Pembroke Township have great natural assets, but it's also about economic development and community cohesion and development. And so it feels like the main point of the plan is actually to help bring to local leadership the tools that we can help to provide that lets them take a great leadership role.
Jahari, one of the elements within the sustainability plan is local leadership. And we are seeing that local leadership come together with the Community Development Corporation, which you lead. Can you say a little bit more about the Community Development Corporations? What are its strategic initiatives?
Sure. Community Development Corporations are nationwide. They're throughout the country. And what a Community Development Corporation does, it sits between the voices of the people, the residents, or the community residents, and the governing bodies to help develop and be the voice that they need to want to see the things that they want to see.
Mark, I want to ask, you're part of a Chicago institution. Why would you be interested in partnering with Pembroke Township, a predominantly African-American rural community? Why are you to be a part of this?
Field Museum is really interested in these great stories around the world of nature and culture coming together. And one of the great natural areas in the Midwest is right here. And similarly, one of the great compelling stories that we can all learn from about how people connect with that nature is right here as well. So we want to be part of that and help our visitors to our museum, almost 2 million a year, come to know that as well in Pembroke Township.
Great. And Jahari, can you tell me a little, how is what the CDC is doing in the sustainability plan, what are they doing to preserve some of the history of Pembroke Township?
Well, that's an excellent question. So we're looking forward to working with Kankakee County at gathering all of the history of the community itself that dates back, over 100 years ago. And so we're trying to pull together all of that information from Al Capone's visits there, which are quite comical and interesting to listen to some of the other, information. There used to be a university there, and Dave, you wrote a wonderful book about some of the history as well.
So write another one. There's so much history.
There's so much history in Pembroke Township. So just to gather the history of that community and preserve it within Pembroke Township is one of the next missions of the CDC. So that people who are there can learn and appreciate their, the traditions that have been born out of that community.
That's great. Yeah. We're in a historic moment right now. That is the pandemic. Kate, with United Way, you were part of a number of different efforts to address the situation, to help folks out, not just in Pembroke Township, but Kankakee County. Can you say a little bit about those efforts, both in Pembroke and broadly?
Absolutely. In Kankakee County, we want to be known for how we treat our people. So this moment is an exciting time where we have our different populations, our different sectors, our different systems joining hands to help our community thrive. In the middle of this pandemic, United Way of Kankakee and Iroquois counties and the Community Foundation of Kankakee River Valley, we've been able to collectively distribute over $600,000, and what I'm most excited about is over $150,000 to Pembroke-led organizations so that they can move forward with their aspirations and what they feel will help our community move forward.
That's great. Thanks. Particularly during the pandemic, some of our unsung heroes are our local banks and financial institutions. So let's hear a little bit more about them.
We have several local and regional banks in Kankakee County, and all of them have been part of our small business and development discussions. During the pandemic, and in round one of the Paycheck Protection Program alone, our banks served more than 1,500 local businesses, delivering more than $260 million in PPP funds.
Our local economy has seen more than $2 billion in major capital investments in the past 5 years, with several other large investments both announced and unannounced in the works.
Kankakee County is ranked number 6 in the United States for cost of doing business, according to Forbes, and number 1 metro in the Midwest for 5-year employment and earnings growth by Area Development Magazine.
We offer many development incentives for qualifying projects such as new market tax credits, opportunity zone financing, historic tax credits, and the enterprise zone program, just to name a few.
Kankakee County is located in the Chicago region, just 45 miles south of the Loop.
We are here at Urban Farmer headquarters in beautiful Manteno, Illinois.
We're just an hour south of Chicago. Today we are with Sarah Gallagher, one of my favorite people, and Queen of Pizza, we kind of call her, but her official title is Food Technologist here at Urban Farmer. Sarah, we are just so excited to be here. We love pizza. Who doesn't love pizza? But there's a lot more that goes into it. We kind of want to know, what's your story? You've had a great professional journey, and what brought you back to Kankakee County?
Well, I moved back to Kankakee County in 2013. My sister was begging me to enter the chef competition at Kankakee Farmers Market, and I kept saying, that's ridiculous, I'm not a chef. Oh, but you're such a good cook. I had been working previously in the hospitality industry, but mostly in the front of the house with a very strong interest in cooking. So I decided to give it a go, and we ended up winning the competition. And from the judges to the people that watched the competition, everyone was asking, where's your restaurant? Where's your restaurant? The type of food that we like and the type of food that we like to cook is better for you, healthier options, gluten-free, vegetarian, vegan, sugar-free, any kind of diet or lifestyle you could come up with. We could make food for you. So we didn't have a restaurant and just decided that this area needs our type of food and we had to make it happen. So with a lot of the downtown people supporting us, we started Stella Bear Foods, and we did prepackaged healthier options. And from there, the journey progressed to anything from private chefing to catering, and eventually brought me here to Urban Farmer.
Awesome. So you took a path of really being an entrepreneur, doing things on your own, and then kind of going corporate, right?
Yes.
So what was that like, that transition?
The transition was a bit of relief from not having everything on your shoulders, but also not being able to do everything your way anymore.
There's rules now,
yeah,
right?
there's
a little bit more rules.
What? Only an hour for lunch?
Oh, goodness. But good food over your lunch, I'm sure, right? A couple pizzas here and there, maybe?
Oh, yeah. We throw down in the innovation lab, as we call it. So.
Innovation lab, food technologists, probably not what you're hearing at most pizza joints. Right?
No.
So what is different about what you're doing here?
I like to use, instead of food technologist, I like to use the term culinologist, because it combines the culinary arts with the food science. And what we're doing here in our research and development is very geared towards that, with the combination of a strong food science background and a strong culinary background. And I think that's where we're going to get our best product.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Making healthy food choices, making them taste great, putting them all together, and ending up with a great finished product that Urban Farmer puts out daily.
From the very first time I walked the production floor, just obsessed with doing what I love to do, but on a massive scale. So, it also jives with what I was doing previously with Stella Bear, is trying to incorporate the healthier aspects of food into foods that people love. So we have a pizza crust here at Urban Farmer that has kale, carrots, cabbage, broccoli, and cauliflower, all just in the crust.
Things you wouldn't really expect to be on a pizza.
Right. But you put cheese and pepperoni on it, and bam.
Yeah, cheese makes everything better,
That's right.
That's awesome. So yeah, kind of on that front, what do you got cooking? What are some new products that maybe you can tell a little bit about what's going on here?
So we have had lots of projects, upcoming projects, geared towards things like vegan pizza, keto pizza, paleo pizza. So all those specific dietary wants and needs and lifestyles is what people are looking for now.
And your job is to make those healthy food options taste
great. You got it. Yep.
Thank you very much for your time, Sarah. Thank you also. If you have time, I hope you join us outside. We're going to be taking a drone trip here from Manteno to downtown Bourbonnais.
The core of Bourbonnais is vital to its future. There is great potential for this area to see mixed-use growth, including commercial and residential development, all tied into our premier park system. In addition, plans are in place to construct a dynamic pedestrian bridge and link the downtown to our new community campus center, increasing both walkability and connectivity throughout the village.
As Bourbonnais continues to grow, the village is positioning itself very well to make these plans a reality and to meet the needs of our residents and businesses.
Downtown Kankakee has long served as a hub for banking, law, media, and business. And with a pivot to also focus on downtown residentiality, livability continues to grow with a recently improved streetscape along Schuyler Avenue that includes festoon lighting, sidewalk dining, greenery, and bike lanes. Other recent developments include a retail resurgence of cafes, boutiques, and art galleries all downtown.
The East River Walk is the working name for the public riverfront improvement planned for the southeast corner of Schuyler Avenue and East River Street in downtown Kankakee. This project will become the first public segment of the Currents of Kankakee and is just the beginning of this regional transformation.
Kankakee is a wonderful city. It's my hometown. We are located in a space that's urban and part rural. Very unique in that way. We have a lot of tools down here for people who want to invest and develop in Kankakee. Many people may not know this, the city of Kankakee also is home to a Frank Lloyd Wright home. Beautiful home that sits along the riverfront. And speaking of the riverfront, as you see behind me, is our beautiful Kankakee River, one of the cleanest rivers in the Midwest, on the National Water Trail, and the City Council recently adopted a riverfront master plan in 2018. So right now, at this time, the city of Kankakee is transforming.
Today.
All right, you have just had a dose of all the great things there are to do outdoors in Kankakee County. Now we want to shift gears to a little bit of the indoor hospitality that Kankakee County has to offer. Here with me today is Carrie Nugent, Director of Marketing and Public Relations at Kankakee Community College, our home for the day.
Well, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it, and I love that you guys chose our location for your shoot today.
Well, listen, with a view like this, you can't really say no, right?
Right.
Oh, it was awesome. Well, Carrie, we're so glad to be here. You know, the community college has really worked to react to the market needs to help develop programs for the community. You know, most recently, the hospitality program. What is the philosophy of the campus on the mission to develop all these great programs?
Well, it's the mission of community colleges everywhere to develop workforce training for their region and for their community. So KCC is no different than that. We also see ourselves as an economic engine for this region, and that the jobs that we help folks train for provide a good paying wage for them and their families, and that is something that resonates for generations.
Yeah.
So our mission is really wraps it up in our mission statement, enhancing quality of life through learning.
Yeah, and you know, hospitality is near and dear to my heart, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun industries to really target and really help build on what they've got. We've got Brickstone Brewery, we've got Locavore Farm, we've got all of our hotels and museums and a Frank Lloyd Wright home. So it's really great to really help bolster their workforce and hopefully also keep people here in the community to work. And offering a program like this really helps someone do that. So it's just so fantastic. So kind of just shift gears really into one of the most recent programs that you've released is the hospitality program. And that was in direct response to the community's needs. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, sure. I mean, we see that growth coming in our region. The next 5 to 10 years, for sure, we think that we're going to experience job needs and growth in our communities and in our industries. So this hospitality certificate is a response to that. We know that our bars, our restaurants, our hotels, our event planning venues, they're going to need qualified staff to help them put together the best quality customer service that they can. So we took a minute to talk with our hospitality focused employers, and we asked, hey, what do you need? What do you see coming up? You guys know about the growth that we're kind of poised to experience. How can we help provide a workforce for you now and in the future? And they were very generous with their time and their thoughts and their advice, and from that we put together a hospitality operations certificate, 6 short classes, and in that time we're able to train a superior quality workforce. And I hope that anybody who's interested in that will take a look at our program.
Well, and it's fantastic because, you know, hospitality is an industry that sometimes we take for granted. You know, but every time you go out to enjoy any experience, you're dealing with a hospitality employee. And so, you know, providing that service and that level of service that Kankakee County wants to be known for is really crucial. So I so appreciate it, and I know all of our employers do, and I'm anxious to see how it gets off the ground. So it's just kicking off, and we're hopeful that we start building that program. So
we'd like to see that. So if anyone out there listening to this video has an interest in those kinds of careers, we want to welcome them in and help them get going. We're training that next group of workers who wants to bring an elevated experience with some of our partners, if that's what they're looking for. Locavore Farms is a perfect example of that.
Yeah. Creativity, and you answer the call whenever we need that creative component for our employers and our workforce.
That's what we're here to do. We want to work with our employers, no matter what industry, look at what needs they have and match up our grads with their needs.
Their needs, right?
Needs.
Yeah.
Right.
Awesome.
That's all it comes down to.
Well, thanks so much, Carrie. Anything else that we missed besides all the good stuff we've already chatted about?
Well, we're sitting in this beautiful location. I can't help but just mention a few things about this. I mean, this is open to our community at any time. Our brand new renovated Milner
So we could work out here if we needed to?
You sure can. You can come out and use the space. We're limiting it a little bit right now in COVID, but you can come in and reserve a room, a space, a chair, and enjoy it in collaborative workspaces. Great technology and
a great view.
And a great view.
I mean, you guys, this is stunning. So thank you so much, Carrie, for having us. You have been most hospitable here. We love it. All right, well, here is a look at some of the other great products and services made right here in Kankakee County.
It's incredible how many local products we use every day without realizing it. Kankakee County has a rich business environment, a diverse atmosphere, and lots of opportunity. Our last guest is going to tell a little bit about what she and the city of Kankakee are doing to support some of those efforts.
Awesome. So here with us today, we're saving the best for last, really, I think, Dave, right? Just kidding to everybody else who's been here before. So with us today is Barbie Brewer-Watson, Executive Director of the Kankakee Economic and Community Development Agency. Barbie, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We've heard a lot of great stuff today. What has the city of Kankakee got cooking down there?
There's a lot of things in motion. Lots of great creativity. The Economic and Community Development Agency itself is a new agency within the city of Kankakee. So under the mayor's administration, kind of merging community and economic development under one roof, being able to be the director of that, creating a team, and then of course making business attention and retention just a big part of what we do in ECDA. So being able to go out there, build those relationships with our local businesses, see what their challenges are, what their barriers are, successes are, celebrating with them, but then also building programs that will help them grow so that we can keep them here. Also, having those incentives that attract business to the area. So we have a lot to be excited about in Kankakee that helps us do that. So, I could go on and on about lots of different new things that we're doing, especially in the incentive world, right? We have a lot of development zones. Love talking about how there's all of these different areas across the city.
And those are there's a lot of buzzwords in those areas right now, right?
Yeah.
Opportunity zone. Dave's like our local expert next to Barbie here.
So the bulk of the city is an opportunity zone. So that helps us with outside investors and attracting them to the area. Outside of that too, we have our TIF districts. We have a great downtown business district too that does a lot of their own incentives that we like to help attract people to the downtown area as well.
And it's historic also downtown,
Yeah,
right?
historic. There's so many historic buildings, so the tax credits, new market tax credits, all of that stuff are accessible and available within the city of Kankakee. And so we try to lead, when we're in our meetings, we try to talk about those exciting things. So across the city too. So it's not just in the downtown area, but the east side of town and the south side of town. So there are these great development zones that are getting a lot of attention too across the city. And then of course, being able to talk about Ricky Rockets and Ricky Rockets on the east side of town with their big truck stop that's going to be there, and another fast food retail will be joining them. And they also have a growth plan too, to add another diner restaurant, breakfast type of restaurant. And that side of town has not had a lot of investment in the last 20 years.
And that's right off I-57.
Right off of I-57. So a lot of opportunity with that project. And then of course being able to bring anywhere from 14 to about 30 new jobs to an area that has just not been invested in over 20 years. So I'm excited about that. Also on that side of town too, we just announced that we are doing a beautification project. And so we've been meeting with the citizens in that neighborhood over in Marycrest and Hillcrest, Hobby Heights, those kind of neighborhoods over there, and just asking them what they want to see. And that's a project.
I'm sure they're excited, huh?
They're so excited. On a Sunday afternoon, being able to speak with about 15 residents who live right there on Hamas Avenue, which those neighborhoods over there are adorable, and there's a lot of opportunity for even starter homes, new homes. So being able to meet with the residents in their own neighborhood to talk about the beautification that's going to take place, to get their feedback. It's always interesting to hear about a sidewalk that needs some extra attention, and you're like, well, we're working on this beautification project, let's see if we can include that. So I love the community engagement that's happening around all of these projects too, because then you get the buy-in from the community, but you get their support and their feedback, so maybe we can make a difference while we're doing projects that benefit their neighborhoods at the same time.
In the last month, we've had some really exciting announcements for just some money to come into the city of Kankakee, right?
Yeah, recently we were awarded the $1.8 million Rebuild Fast Track Illinois grant.
Is there a fast track grant?
Well,
in grants?
No.
But yes.
But that's what they called this one.
Awesome.
And so $1.8 million, and this project will finish the Schuyler Streetscape project, beautifying the north part of Schuyler in our downtown Kankakee. So we're so excited about that project. That $1.8 million is really, really beneficial to completing that whole project, beautifying that street right in front of Paramount, in front of some other commercial properties that have not seen investment in a very long time. So I'm very excited about that. And of course, bike lanes will be included in this wonderful project and help increase our mobility. So
cool.
Yeah.
And the city team was hugely instrumental in getting that, right?
Yeah, we all work together as a team. And of course, you always have somebody that emerges as a leader. And so huge shout out to Neil Pigosh for helping us get through that grant process, fast track grant process.
Yeah, and Neil is the city engineer.
He is the city engineer, yes he is. And we're just super excited about this grant and what that money's gonna do for us.
We're heading north with this new expansion of the streetscape. Heading south, we'll make our way eventually, right, to the beautiful Kankakee River. I know there's some exciting things going on with that, right? I gotta plug that.
And I'm sure I'm sure you've already heard about the Riverfront Master Development Plan and all of the energy and the planning and the time and investment that's gone into developing that. And there's a commitment. We know that that plan is going to be 15, 20 years in the making. There's lots of things that are going to have to happen to take place for that. And right now, it's already happening. And we're about, this started in 2017. I think the plan was adopted in 2018. So here we are in 2020, and we've already done a lot of property acquisition and pre-planning to get things shovel ready, because that is where development will happen. And that is where investors will be able to come in and really make things happen, is if we are making things shovel ready. And there's a lot of work that goes into that.
And your team had a great part, is an ongoing part with that East Riverwalk portion of the riverfront. So
yes.
It's important to keep working together, right?
Yeah, and that's like phase one, and that's the kickoff to what is going to be a transformative project across the city and will change, it's really just going to change the whole landscape of the
region.
city and
Truly
create,
the region.
create new opportunities for housing of all types, and then opportunities for new businesses too. So part of the planning is including that, right? Is what are the new housing strategies and how do we keep our businesses here and growing, but also give spaces and places for new businesses to kind of research, maybe just, I'm trying to find the best word for this, but just kind of research, experiment, and see if their business ideas can come to life, find that access to capital. And so we are, as every part of the planning for Riverfront, anything downtown, we are just doing our best to try to make sure that we're creating spaces and places for that kind of ecosystem to build, because we have those entrepreneurs here. They're making products.
We just heard from so many of them, right?
Yeah, they're providing unique services, but they're doing this despite having an incubator or a space or a place where they can congregate all together, share ideas, learn from each other, and we really
Which may be
need to
another
do
great
that.
idea, you know, that shared workspace, right?
Yeah.
So.
And it's part of planning, and we're spending a lot of time in planning that, and I'm hopeful that in the future, with all this great excitement that's already happening, that we'll have those spaces and places.
I sure am too.
Yeah. I mean, on top of all the other announcements, also announcing the $4 million Metra transfer station that will be coming right downtown. So in the heart of everything that's going on in Kankakee, where the riverfront is right there in the heart of that, and that's starting, along with everything else that's starting in the other development zones across the city, now we've got this big transportation center that's also coming.
So one of the great things about that being a transportation center, it's a hub.
It is a hub.
It connects downtown Kankakee to all other parts of the county.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for joining us today, Barbie. We are always happy to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Anytime.
We could stay for another hour if you want.
We could.
Yeah.
Because then we could talk about how the Metra is connected to
Metro.
Amtrak.
Oh, Metro's connected.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I was flipping gears.
So you have the bus station, and then now they can get to the train station.
To get to
Just
Midway,
saying.
you know, for $2.
Now
so
we're just opening up to the whole world.
Yeah. So if you don't know anything about Kankakee County, you've learned a lot today, right? So cool, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, we want to thank you, both Stacy and I, for joining us today, spending a little time to hear about some of the opportunities in Kankakee County. Talking bike lanes, we're talking incubator space, what else?
Community partnerships, economic development. hospitality,
resiliency, pivoting.
Yeah.
Just doesn't stop. The list goes on and on.
We love Kankakee County, and we hope you do too. So if you're looking to move here, start a business, relocate your family, or just do some basic investing, we've got a team for you. So we hope you'll tune in again, and thanks for hanging out.